Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I hope you're having a great day. Stay positive, stay focused. Let's get to it. What is the hot topic that's going on YouTube or Instagram? Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Don't forget, the Cash App is Let's Talk About It Media. Thank you for all your love and support.
So don't forget to like, to comment, but be kind, and also turn on the notification bell. If you don't want to leave a comment, that's fine. You could always leave a thumbs up, a heart, a rose. Any positive interaction really helps the page. Liking, sharing is free. Let's get to it. As you know, I've been doing videos in regards to Wendy Williams. Chris Cuomo recently did an interview with Wendy's friend, and they're talking about her eating habits. They're talking about the conservatorship. They're talking about the guardianship. They're talking about Wendy as a whole in regards to what's been going on with her over the last 3-4 years. I first saw it on Mem's show. Shout out to Mem's. And then right now, I was just listening to Kimpire. This is where I got this clip from. Always give kudos to where you see it. Give people credit. Don't try and take other people's ideas. This happens to me all the time. She's still doing it. I'm ignoring it. Larger page, but I see that she sometimes takes my cues and she tries to use it as her own. Since I'm a smaller page, people haven't called it out. But I caught this from Mem's. Great show. He has great content. He's very detail oriented. And he's funny. And then watching it from Kimpire, very great content, very organized, really great content from both of them. So they have more details. We're just going to go through this clip really fast. I was supposed to spend some time with family. I just told them, give me 15 minutes and let me get this video out. But let's listen in with what they had to say.
I can't really tell you, I can't really recommend it to you. It's certainly not the way Wendy would want to be depicted, I'm sure. Everyone knew when she stepped down after a decade of doing her talk show, the Wendy Williams show, that something wasn't right. We weren't sure what it was. I saw it firsthand. Recently, we found out that Williams has been suffering from aphasia, which is something that goes along with what's called frontotemporal dementia. Same thing as Bruce Willis. Same thing as so many of us deal with in our families. This past weekend, this docuseries came out about Wendy Williams. Lifetime it was on. And, you know, it's a bad look for her. Even producers who worked on the documentary, Where is Wendy, are now saying if they had known she had dementia when they were filming, they would have never made the documentary. Here's a clip.
Happen to notice
Fair use.
one of your specialty items. Did you drink this whole thing today?
Yes. No.
But, okay, let's just have a quick conversation about this. Don't you feel like maybe this is a bit excessive? I don't know if you need this right now.
Why?
Because we have a lot of business
I'm not
things going
drunk.
on. I never said you was drunk, but I just don't know if this is a good idea.
You.
So you think you're perfectly fine having as many drinks as you want?
Perfectly.
Okay. But I'm just going to put it downstairs and keep it cool.
Keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there.
There's no question that the way Wendy was abusing herself could have only made her health conditions that we're now aware of worse. And nobody knows that better than her closest friend, okay? Regina Shell. She was in the film, although she didn't know that it was going to come out this way. And she joins us now.
So let's listen to her friend. I have to stop it, play it, stop it, play it. I have to give commentary. Her friend is going to speak out in regards to there was times that Wendy did not have food. She would try and order it 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It wouldn't come till 12 or 1. This is the biggest thing. As famous as she is, she needed a home health aide caregiver to take care of her and her personal needs. As rich as she is, why did they not put a refrigerator up in her room so that way if she wanted something or needed something, she can immediately give her what she needed in the comfort of her room? So she wouldn't have to go downstairs. Everything should have been accessible to her by her bedside even. And as long as they keep it stocked with juices or salads, why not give her groceries? That's Why not give her groceries to where it is stocked every few days. What goes bad, it gets thrown out by the caregiver or home health aide. How they set this up in itself is concerning. Wendy should have never had to call for money to get food. She should automatically have weekly food, weekly money to pay her bills. But they're restricting her millions, and this is sad. Who and why should people? This is the big question everybody's asking, because there's so many red flags with guardianship. My friend's dealing with that. So many red flags, and she wishes she would have never did it. But in regards to certain people's health, not a lawyer, not a physician, not, giving legal advice or how people should handle things. But some people are getting frustrated in regards to the guardianship and the conservatorship. And I think it's concerning with certain states. Certain states are better than others, but it's kind of concerning of what's needed for them for comfort. Let's get to the clip.
I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances, but I know it's really important for you to speak up for your friend. Let's talk about what matters most to you. I just got a piece of information that the woman who is currently the appointed guardian has been accused of a scheme to rob a different client.
Allegedly.
There's a $30 million suit against her. You have said you have concerns about what is going on with this guardianship. How so?
When I was in New York and staying with Wendy in the summer, I noticed when she would call, she had no access to her money. So every time she had to do anything that she had to pay for, she had to go through the guardian. And she would call to order her breakfast at 7:30 in the morning with the guardian, and she would take the order, and the order wouldn't show up until sometimes noon. And so Wendy wouldn't have any food. And when I went back to LA, I would have to send her food from Los Angeles to New York through delivery service, because the communication wasn't there, and she had no other access to money than this guardian. And so that's what was concerning to me, because she was telling me she didn't have food. And her publicist also, who lives out in LA, both of us were going back and forth sending food to Wendy because she wasn't having access to food.
I was reading in
So
here, Regina, where you were like,
certainly.
where you were worried that one of the impacts of this documentary, or whatever you want to call it.
And see, that's the biggest thing. When there's guardianship, conservatorship, home health aid needs to be set up. What is their daily eating plan? Who will wash the clothes? Who will care for her? How often will the nurse stop by? It seems as if somebody dropped the ball in regards to her personal care. It's almost like they were directing for her to have a comeback in regards to a podcast versus her daily wants and needs. It seems as if what took a back seat. Now, this is the one thing that many people will say. Having the film company there was kind of helpful, because they saw stuff we probably wouldn't have saw if the cameras weren't rolling. Now, they did say they would have never started the cameras if they knew she had dementia. We noticed it in 2022, 2021, allegedly. We noticed it, of us watching her on TV, her having the fall. When she was going through divorce with Kevin, she entered a facility. We knew her seeking cues from people on the TV show and not remembering the topics. It was all interesting. But it's like they didn't make sure her daily needs were met. It was almost like management. But what is management going to do for her? Are they going to bathe her, get her food, cook her food, wash her sheets? That's where the missing link is. And just money. This is her weekly spending money. It's almost like it's not set up the proper way to take care of their daily needs. Concerning. And people are saying, should they get guardianship for people when there's concerns? Especially if a person is a millionaire, that's the biggest thing. Those guardianships are taken over, and people are struggling to get their own money. It's concerning.
Is going to be that Wendy won't work again. But Do you believe that she'll ever be
I
in
think
control of her? Go ahead, please.
There must be a delay.
I think that the depiction of this, what I thought was going to be a comeback kid story, seems to be like a demise of Wendy's story. And I haven't heard an official diagnosis from a doctor. You know, I've heard from this team that we don't know who the team is, and from Kevin and her nephew Travis, but no doctor has actually confirmed these diagnoses. So, I mean, maybe I'm in denial because I'm so close to the issue, and I have, in reflection, I see the behaviors that could potentially be such a diagnosis, but I don't want to believe that she is, at this point, unproducible. That's not my opinion.
I'll tell you, when I was with her a few summers ago, I guess now, she was...
Everyone knows I have to stop it, play it, stop it, play it. Chris Cuomo is about to talk about his experience with Wendy 2 years ago. So if the film company was filming last year, how did they not know when her friend Chris Cuomo noticed it 2 years ago? We, as Wendy watchers, noticed it almost 2-3 years ago as well. People are not taking accountability of how she has not been treated. From what we feel, in our opinion, she has been treated fairly. It's a blessing she's still working through it, and the stress of it all, losing the show, the divorce, health concerns. Let's continue.
Impressively a mess. I felt very badly for her. I talked to her about it directly, and as you might imagine, she had absolutely no appetite for the discussion. But she was putting down a lot of substances. And she then wound up going on break to get herself together.
Allegedly.
Do you believe that Wendy had figured out how to deal with her behaviors before this diagnosis?
Yes, I think that Wendy has always, I've known Wendy since we were 13 years old. Wendy's always been doing what she wants, when she wants, how she wants, and she's very clever. So she could potentially have been getting away, quote unquote, with a diagnosis potentially like this for a long time because she's quite smart, and yeah, she could.
Well, I know you're concerned about her. I know that this is so screwed up because it's hard for you to even get access when you want and to see the person who's so close to you in your life. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to News Nation now.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Where is Wendy? Where's her money? Will there be a lawsuit against the courts not making sure her day-to-day proper care was taken care of? Somebody needs to get a hold of those documents and find out what is going on with her money. Has it been dispersed in places it should not have been dispersed? Is the documents available? Are they sealed? It's concerning. Where is she, and why can't her family see her and visit her? Why is it that she can only call them? Well wishes. Like she said, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. I have not heard. Whenever people talk about guardianship, let's be very clear. Whenever people talk about guardianship, some of it's decent stories, some of it's not so great of stories, and some of it's are very concerning stories. Well wishes to Wendy, her family. I hope many famous people go to this court date and step in to stand behind Wendy's family. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe.